What's going on, guys? Car Review Guys here. My name is AJ, and today we are back with the 2022 Camry TRD. This is the last video we're going to be making in this series about this car. Then we're going to be moving on to next week's car, which I believe right now is a Mazda 3 hatchback premium turbo plus, maybe? I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, we're going to be taking this car on a little trip, about 50 miles each way, roughly. And basically, I'm going to show you the gas mileage. We're going to Costco, so I'll show you what the room is like just the practical things you're going to do with this car daily, and let's see how it works out. Without further ado, let's roll. So starting off, right before we jump on the road to get going, we did have to put a big thing of clothes back here. We're going to take over to Plato's closet, and you can see there's actually plenty of room still in the trunk, but more to come once we hit old Costco, you know what I'm saying? Alrighty, we are on the road, and right as I started this trip, I did reset everything for the fuel and mileage so we can truly see what we're getting on this trip. Now, this road is pretty flat. It's the I-10. It is from Casa Grande, Arizona to Phoenix, so you can look it up if you want. That's what it looks like, right? I mean, it's pretty flat. Nothing too crazy, but long story short, just wanted to give you a quick update. We are roughly 20 miles into this trip, and so far we're averaging 35.8. This car on the highway is rated at 31. So that's pretty impressive. Obviously there's gonna be like averages and all that stuff, but that is impressive. Also keep in mind, this car is a V6, naturally aspirated, and we're getting literally almost 36 miles to the gallon. Like, that is wild. And then the other thing that I will talk about this car really quick is I have a lot of confidence in the, as you can see, one camera's holding the hand, one's here, which you still need to pay attention to the road. Your eyes need to be out there, you need to have your hand on the wheel, but it gives you confidence that, like, if you need to take a drink of water and you need to get to your water bottle there, right? It's no problem because the car will definitely stay in the lane. Like, here's my hand, it's staying in the lane, right? So get my water, come back up, like, you're good. So that's really nice whenever, if you're gonna be driving this car some mileage on the freeway, that really gives you some confidence, you know, from a daily aspect. The other thing is the adaptive cruise control. I personally love adaptive cruise control for scenarios just like that. 2-lane highway, you got truckers over there, you got people constantly in your way. This is so much better to be able to just not be controlling gas brake the whole time. It just does it for you. So that's pretty nice, I ain't gonna lie. All right, I did want to note very quickly for any of you that are just jumping in this car and don't have much experience with either one Toyota or 2 lane keep assist. So down here, see the little green right there? That's like a lane indicator, and like if I go to put my blinker on, that's gonna go white, meaning it will not stay in the lane. But if I turn it off and I stay in this lane, it's gonna recognize the lane again, it's gonna turn green, and it will steer for you now, and it'll keep you in the lane. Keep that in mind. Alrighty, very quick update. We're at 37.5 miles to the gallon. We just got off the freeway. That was about roughly 30 miles worth of driving on the freeway. In this fuel economy test, last but not least, we just parked where we're going. 36.4 miles to the gallon. So that is pretty good for a naturally aspirated V6. The other thing I did want to note, based on that MPG, that is at 80 miles an hour steady, which the speed limit here in Arizona is between 75 to 80 miles an hour, depending on where you are at. So that is exceptional considering the rating is at 31 from the factory. Alrighty, now's the functionality test. I mean, you know, not a better time than now to get us a putter, some more golf gloves, you know, all the fun stuff, and then some groceries. So without further ado, let's hit the button here, pop this up. We still got clothes in the road. Push those to the back, out of the way a little bit. Let's see here. All right, a putter. Oh, by the skin of its teeth, look at that. So that's how deep the trunk is. All right, and the only thing you gotta note on this car is these arms do swing down, so you gotta leave a little bit of room in between there, but other than that, a lot of room that works good, even for the Costco and everyday life. guys, we got back home and it's actually the next day now, as you can tell, I'm only in a white t-shirt, but you got to do some house chores and all that stuff. So long story short, that's why. So without further ado, let's just sum up this video really quick. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that cinematic clip. And if you haven't seen any of the other videos, I will put them somewhere on the screen here so you can click those, because there are 3 other videos on this vehicle right here. So finishing up from a daily aspect and what I like about this car. So one of the features that may or may not surprise you is the fact that, you know, you've got keyless entry, right? So my key never comes out of my pocket, and you can lock it here, or you just unlock it by touching in here. As you heard the beeps, unlock it, and then let's say you want to lock it, touch it, and that's it. So that makes it super nice, really convenient for getting in and out of a car. And I know I've mentioned this car is missing a lot of features. I went over that in my whole review, and the things that I, hate about this car, just nitpicking it. But it does have a lot of like standard features that maybe aren't on other cars that, I don't know, it's kind of weird because they have like blind spot monitoring and a lot of technology in this car, but just not a lot of features, if that makes sense. So the other thing to note on the freeway, and I'm sure you probably heard it from my clips, is the exhaust does not drone on the freeway at all. You can't even hear it on the freeway, which is super nice whenever you're driving on the freeway. So I like that touch. It has a little tone, but not too much to where it drones. So that makes it nice. And I mean, honestly, the car looks so aggressive. Like even just taking it shopping for the day, like just driving it around, seeing how practical it was, getting in and out of it, there was no issues with that, and the car got so many compliments. It was actually pretty wild how many compliments this car got. So, but just like that, I think that really sums up what it's like to live with this car on a day-to-day aspect. You got like what it's like to drive the car, you got, what your gas mileage is, does it fit plenty of things, and it does. It checks all of those boxes in my opinion. It's just lacking some options available that you could option on this car. But just like that, guys, next week we have a new car coming, and you guys be sure to stay tuned for that. And just like that, catch y'all on the next one. Peace.